To my first live Insight Timer session. I'm so excited that you're here and celebrating Pi Day. No, I don't have any pie for us, but today is March 14th, so I thought it would be fun to explore the idea of pi. Not too much because I'm definitely not a mathematician, but as I was thinking about this and reading a few things online, the idea of pi, which is a mathematical equation of developing things about circumference, it's kind of a mystery. It took a long time for scientists to understand it. And so one of the things that I thought about here was that it is something that we can come to an understanding of the beauty in things that we don't always really comprehend. I read a quote, it said, pi puts infinity within reach. So today I'd like us just to remember that like pi, life can sometimes be confusing and you don't know exactly where everything is going, but we can allow ourselves to be right in this moment and explore the beauty of right now without trying to figure out what it is all about. So let's go ahead and get started with our yoga practice today. Go ahead and find a gentle seat. Let's come to seated, whatever feels comfortable for you, and we'll get centered in to our mats. I like to cross one ankle in front of the other. Maybe you'll have something supporting your hips. Sit bones attached to the earth, shoulders right above your hips. Allowing yourself to come into the moment and start to breathe. Maybe rolling your shoulders back and down. Your head is right above your heart. And take this moment to settle in. Take a few breaths here and time just to notice what that breath is doing without judgment. Just taking note of how you're feeling today. Maybe allow your eyes to close or have a gentle gaze ahead of you. And start to breathe. So as we begin our practice today, take a scan of your body from the crown of your head all the way down, starting to notice your breath, notice your mind. And if you came with your own intention for class today, go ahead and think of that now. Otherwise, I offer the intention of being in the beauty and the mystery of every moment. And I'm so grateful that you're here. Continue to breathe, and I'm just going to do a little technical thing here so I can see what everybody is saying in the chat. Yes, my house panthers. I have 3. One is camera shy, so she probably won't be joining us, but the other 2 may come in and out. So as we start here, let's come into focus with our breath. I like to do a 3-part breath. So maybe place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. And as you inhale, start bringing that air all the way to your belly and feel your belly expand. Your ribs may start to expand, your chest may raise a bit. And then exhale, releasing that air from your belly, your chest, and lower down. Inhale, lengthen your spine as your belly fills up with air. Your chest begins to expand, or your ribs expand, your chest may rise, and exhale. Continue that breath at your own pace, maybe starting to breathe in and out in equal times, really coming into the focus here. As I mentioned, today we're celebrating Pi and really allowing ourselves to acknowledge the beauty and the great things about having mysteries in our lives. For me right now, this is a mystery of my first time here at Insight Timer. So I appreciate everyone who is here, and I would be very grateful for your patience while we go through this. So from wherever you are here, go ahead and tip back and let's come into maybe your version of a knee pile, crossing one knee over the other. I placed my right knee on top to start with. I'll mirror you, so I'll do it this way. So have your right knee on top and continuing to stand. And as you inhale, reach your fingertips up toward the sky, keeping your shoulders away from the ears. And as you exhale, take your right hand and reach down toward one side, maybe rainbowing over, keeping both sit bones on the ground. And then on your next inhale, sweep your fingertips up. And on exhale, reaching over to the left. Both sit bones on the ground, maybe bending your left elbow a little bit, maybe rolling your right shoulder back. Notice how you're feeling this morning as you begin. Inhaling, coming up. And exhale, bring your hands heart center. From here, place your hands behind and cross your legs the other direction. And on your inhale, sweep your fingertips up again. As you exhale, release your left hand down, tipping over toward the left. And on your next inhale, reaching your arms up. Exhale, reach over to the other side. Beautiful. Again, reaching all the way up. And exhale, hands, heart, center. Take a moment here. Maybe place your thumbs at your heart space. Noticing the mystery and the wonder of your heart beating automatically, serving you throughout the day. One of those mysteries of life that we have throughout our lives, we accept. And from here, go ahead and release. And from wherever you are, bring your legs out in front of you. I have a cat in the way, so I'll just turn around. Don't want to disturb him. And from here, go ahead and bend your right knee in towards your chest. And then you can leave it placed right on the inside of your knee, or you can cross it over if you have that space available. Remember, anything that I show you here, go at your own pace. If you need to level up or level down, whatever is good for you. I'm just here to help you explore movements in your body. So as you inhale, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, turn toward your right knee, the bent knee, maybe hugging that knee in toward your chest, or maybe hooking the elbow, but we're just getting started. So allow yourself just to feel that twist from the lower part of your hips and your chest, maybe keeping your head above your heart here. And breathe. Maybe keeping your mouth gently closed and having your inhales and exhales come in and out of your nose. And when your next exhale comes, turn toward your lengthened legs and maybe come into a half pile with that knee, stacking it on top or as close to on top of your opposite knee as feels good for you. And on your next inhale, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, tip forward, coming into a forward fold just until you feel your edge. Again, we're just getting started, just starting to warm up, exploring what our body feels today, celebrating the mysteries that are right here. Just like pi, it's something that's always there, but we don't really understand it, I guess. I just thought it was me, but apparently even the mathematicians don't understand it all the way. On your next inhale, go ahead and bring your hands in toward your body. Bring yourself up. Maybe help your knee come up and then reach that leg out, shake it out, and then bend your left knee in toward your chest. Again, keeping it right next to your leg or crossing it over if you'd like. On your next inhale, again, filling up your belly, ribs, and chest and reaching up. And then as you exhale, turning toward your left, maybe wrapping your arms around that knee, hugging it in toward your chest. On each inhale, lengthening your spine a little bit. On each exhale, maybe turning from your hip area, your ribs, maybe keeping your head right above your heart to start with. Exploring how that feels. And continuing to breathe. When your next exhale comes, turn your chest toward the front. Maybe cross that knee on top of or close to on top of, whatever that means for you. And then inhale, reach your fingertips up. And exhale, fold forward, finding your edge. Allowing yourself to breathe into any tight spots or allowing yourself to back off. We're just getting started. And as you're ready, bring yourself up, straighten out your legs, maybe give them a little wiggle. And then as you're ready, come on over to your hands and knees. Your hands are going to be right below your shoulders, fingertips are spread wide. Knees are right below your hips. Tops of your feet may be flat on the ground. And as you inhale and your belly fills up with air, roll your shoulders back, take your gaze up, let your seat go up, coming into cow pose. As you exhale, round your spine, pressing into the ground, letting your head fall in between your upper arms into scared cat. Inhale, lower your belly, creating that arch in your back. maybe looking up to where the ceiling meets the wall. And as you exhale, rounding your spine, separating your shoulder blades as you press into the ground. And continue that breath and movement at your own pace. Breathing in and out. So grateful for all of you here. Moving your bodies, starting with a nice warm up here, and then we'll begin our flow, celebrating the mysteries of our lives. As you complete your next round of cat-cow, come to stillness, and then reach your right toes to the back of the mat, curling your toes under, and shift your shoulders forward and back, lengthening out your leg. And then as you come to stillness, keeping that foot back, maybe bring your right fingertips to your opposite fingertips to the front of the mat, your left fingertips. And then if it feels good for you, reach that back leg up, your toes are pointing down toward the ground, trying to square your hips toward the mat, and maybe reach your left arm up toward the sky. Keeping your gaze down. Trying not to be distracted by the cat that might be going underneath your body. She's helping, or he's helping. And reach, continuing to breathe here. From here, release your left hand back down, and then take your right leg straight out from your hip to the side. And on the next exhale, reach your hips back towards your feet like you're coming into a child's pose, just gently to feel this little bit of a stretch here. And then shift your body back up, shoulders come back up over the wrists. And this time as you inhale, bring your hands in toward your body and lift yourself up. And then take a breath here, and on a next inhale, reach your fingertips up. And as you exhale, reach over toward your right leg. I'll come to the side so you can see. And lengthen. And then on your next inhale, sweep your shoulders up and your hands up. And as you exhale, you can release that arm down. Your left arm, maybe your right arm comes next to your ear. You can also have a block under your hand here if that feels better. Now to celebrate our first circle of the day, of Pi Day, bring your arm forward, your right arm forward and back, loosening up that shoulder, 3 big circles. And then on your next loop up, bring your shoulders back up over your hips, fingertips come up, and then exhale, bring your hands down, bring your knee back down, coming back into your tabletop. And then from here, reach your left leg back this time, if you did the right leg the first time. Shift your shoulders forward and back. Come to stillness, square your hips toward the mat, and bring your left fingertips up toward the front of the mat. And then as you're ready, maybe it feels good to reach that back leg up. Your toes are pointed down, trying to keep your hips level. And then maybe your right arm comes up next to your right ear. Your right thumb is pointing up toward the sky. And you reach, continuing to breathe here. Not collapsing into that planted arm, the planted hand. Breathe. And then release your right hand down. Take your left leg out to the side. I'll again demonstrate from here. And then bring your hands in toward your body and sweep your fingertips up. And then as you exhale, reach over toward your lengthened leg. Remembering not to place any weight on the inside of your knee, maybe opening your right shoulder up. And then on your next inhale, reaching both fingertips up. As you exhale, reaching over to the other side. One straight line from your top arm to your bottom foot. And breathe, feeling the length that you're creating in your side body here. And again, to celebrate pie on the side, making some circles, bringing your left arm forward, back. Nice big circles for your shoulders. And reach yourself back up. Bring your hands down, bring your knees underneath your hips again. Coming back into your tabletop pose. From here, we'll come into our first downward facing dog. So curl your toes up behind you. You'll press into your hands. You're kind of even gripping a little bit with your hands here, with your tips of your fingertips to create a little suction cup so you can support the weight of your body on all parts of your hands, not just collapsing into your wrists. Curl your toes. You'll raise your seat up on an exhale and press your chest toward your thighs into a downward facing dog. You can keep your knees nice and bent here so that you can really feel this lengthening of your spine as you press your chest toward your thighs. And you can walk the dog here by bending one knee a little bit extra and lowering the opposite heel toward the ground. And then switching, walking the dog the other way, lowering the opposite heel, bending the opposite knee. Go at whatever pace feels good for your body here. Either allowing the stretch to stick or moving back and forth. And then as you're ready, come to stillness and see if your heels want to reach toward the earth a little bit further. Wherever they land is great. Take a free breath. Take 2 breaths here. On your next inhale, take your gaze up to the front of your mat between your hands, and as you exhale, tiptoe your feet toward your hands, coming into a forward fold at the front of your mat with your knees really nice and bent. Your belly and thighs are connected. Your head is hanging, maybe looking back behind you. On your next inhale, raise your shoulders up halfway so they'll be even with your hips and press your hands into your shins or thighs, coming into a half lift. Your gaze is down. And then as your next exhale comes, bend your knees, come into a forward fold again. Inhale, come all the way to standing, reaching your fingertips up high, bringing your palms together. And exhale, bringing your hands heart center. Take a moment again to notice your breath here. Notice your heartbeat against your thumbs. And celebrate that mystery. From here, release your hands down. Come into mountain pose at the top of your mat. So your feet are parallel with the sides of your mat. Toes are pointed forward. Roll your shoulders down and back so your shoulders are above your hips and your hips are above your knees are above your ankles. Opening your hands toward the front of your mat, the short end. And as your next inhale comes, sweep your fingertips up high. And as you exhale, swan dive down into a forward fold, bending your knees if you need to, or even having your arms up on your thighs. If the ground is too far away, or if your blocks are too far away, you can also use your blocks. On your next inhale, half lift, pressing into your shins or thighs, making the long spine from the crown of your head to your sit bones. And then as you exhale, bending your knees, plant your hands onto the ground and step back into your plank. You can stay here if you'd like. On an inhale, shift your shoulders forward a bit. And then as you exhale, you can bend your knees and lower them down toward the earth. And then bend your elbows back toward your feet, coming into chaturanga, keeping your shoulders away from your ears. On your next inhale, bring your hands forward, shoulders are above your elbows. Roll your shoulders back, chest forward, coming into your Sphinx. Take a breath here. As you're ready, bring your hands back underneath your shoulders, curl your toes, maybe come to your knees and raise your seat, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, look to the front of your mat, and as you exhale, tiptoe or step your feet toward your hands, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms up high. Maybe your gaze goes up. And exhale, hands, heart, center. And again, inhale, sweeping your fingertips up. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, feet to the back of the mat, plank. Inhale, shifting forward. Exhale, lowering down, either lowering your knees or keeping them raised, bending your elbows back towards your feet, chaturanga. Inhale, you can come into your Sphinx or bring your hands forward, roll your shoulders back, coming into a baby cobra. Exhale, release your body down, hands underneath your shoulders, curl your toes, maybe come to your knees, raise your seat, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, look to the front of your mat, and as you exhale, step or hop your feet toward your hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way to standing, reaching up high, lengthening your spine. And exhale, hands, heart, center. Warming up now, one more time. Inhale, sweep your fingertips up. Exhale, release down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, feet back, coming into your plank. Flowing here. Inhale as you shift forward. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, coming into your back bend, cobra or up dog or Sphinx. On your exhale, curl your toes, raise your seat, downward facing dog. Inhale, look to the front of your mat. Exhale as you step or hop your feet toward your hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way to standing, reaching your fingertips up high. And exhale, bring your hands heart center. Take a moment to notice any changes in your breath, in your heartbeat, anything else that's going on with your body. Thank you so much. As you're ready, come back into your mountain. Standing up nice and tall. And when your next inhale comes, sweep your fingertips up. As you exhale, bend your knees, bring your seat back behind you, finding your chair. Making sure you're trying to balance on the four corners of your feet, maybe even lift your toes so that you can feel that. Continuing to breathe. When your next inhale comes, straighten your legs. Come up to standing. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands and step back and come into your downward facing dog here. Take a few breaths here. Feeling your dog. And when your next inhale comes, raise your right leg up high And as you exhale, bend your knee and point that knee up toward the sky, maybe turning to look under your right armpit if that works for you. And of course, Pi Day, we need to make a few circles here. Taking your knee into nice, big, or small circles, whatever feels good for you. Maybe 3. And then as you complete those, straighten your legs, square your hips to the mat. And as you exhale, shift your shoulders forward, bring your knee underneath your body, and then reach that right foot to the front of your mat, however it needs to get there, coming into a runner's lunge. Take a breath here. On your next inhale, sweep your fingertips up, rotate that back heel, and open up into Warrior Two. So your front knee is bent, going in the same direction as your toes. Your knee is tracking a little bit over toward your pinky toe side rather than collapsing in. The outer edge of your back foot is planted, trying to find the balance on all sides of your feet in this pose. Now from here, release your shoulders, release your arms down. Keeping your Warrior Two legs. Roll your shoulders all the way up into your ears. Really feel that. And then as you exhale, just let them drop. And then from here, open your arms out. Your palms are facing up. And then bring your elbows together, kind of bringing the middle parts of your shoulder blades together. And then exhale, release. And then this time, going to bring our lower part of our shoulder blades together. So you bringing your elbows down, really trying to feel that bottom part of the shoulder blade coming together. And exhale, release. From here, remembering if this is getting too much on your front leg, you can always straighten it and come back. Now from here, reach your arms out. Take your left arm on top of your right, and you can reach for opposite shoulders here, coming into kind of a hug. I'll turn this way in case you need to see what that looks like. Or you can come into eagle arms by bringing your forearms up, maybe palms coming together, or clasping them, however feels good for you. Raising your shoulders up, elbows out, whichever way you're doing, and breathe. Exploring that movement. And then on your next inhale, reach your arms out. Take a breath. And when your next inhale comes, sweep that front arm to the back. Release that back arm down your leg or at the crook of your back there. Coming into reverse warrior. And then on your next inhale, sweep all the way up, shift forward, lower that right arm onto the right thigh, left arm next to left ear, side angle. Inhale, sweep back up into your Warrior Two, and breathe. And on your next inhale, rotate your back heel up and turn toward the front corner of your mat, coming into a crescent lunge. So your back heel is up, straight and strong. And then as you exhale, bring your hands down and bring your foot back, coming back into your downward facing dog. And take a few breaths here. When your next inhale comes, raise your left leg up high. And as you exhale, bend that knee and point it up toward the sky. We have to be even. And then make a few circles with that knee. Hello, Fin Fin. And then as you're ready, square your hips, coming back into your three-legged dog. And on an exhale, shift your shoulders forward, bending your knee under your body, and then bring that foot to the front of the mat, finding your runner's lunge. Take a breath here. On your next inhale, sweeping all the way up, rotating the back heel down. Whoa, and don't step on the cat. Reaching out into warrior two. Take a breath. We're going to do those shoulder shrugs again on this side. So as you release your arms down on a next inhale, bring your shoulders all the way up into your ears and then drop them, let them go. Doing the center part of the shoulder blades now, opening up your palms, elbows together, reaching them together behind you, middle part of your shoulder blades. Exhale, release. And now the lower part of your shoulder blades. So bringing your elbows down, squeezing together, and exhale, release. From here, take your right arm on top of the left. Again, you can either hug your arms, or come into eagle arms, whatever feels best for you. Wherever you are, take a few breaths, bringing your elbows forward and up, really feeling that stretch. And then as you're ready, release and open. Maybe shift forward, flip that front palm, tip back into reverse warrior. Left arm next to left ear, right arm either down your leg anywhere but your knee or curling behind your back. And on your next inhale, shift your shoulders up, lower that left arm onto your left thigh, right arm next to right ear, side angle. Take a breath. And when your next inhale comes, sweep all the way up to warrior two, and exhale as you breathe. And your next inhale, rotate your back heel up, both fingertips up toward the sky, crescent. And from here, as you exhale, bring your hands down and bring that back foot to meet the front, coming into a forward fold at the front of your mat. Bending your knees, letting your head hang. And on your next inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way to standing, reaching your fingertips up high. Exhale, hands, heart, center. Take a breath here. And release down into your mountain pose. For this next section, we'll be coming down onto our knees. I may not have mentioned, but I do like to have a blanket underneath my knee. You know, to keep all that stuff safe in our knees. We've only got so much. Roll your shoulders down and back. On your next inhale, sweep your fingertips up. Exhale, bend your knees, coming into your chair. Inhale, straighten your legs, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, bring your feet to the back of your mat. Scoot your cat out of the way. And then as you inhale, shift your shoulders forward. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, curl your toes, flat your toes and bring your chest forward, back bend. And then as you exhale, raise your seat, coming into your downward facing dog. Take a breath here. On your next inhale, raise your right leg up high. And here as you exhale, shift forward, coming into your runner's lunge, placing that right foot at the front of your mat. And then from here, lower that back knee down and bring the top of your foot down as well. And on an inhale, reach all the way up. If you'd like a little extra challenge with this, really press in the top of your back foot and raise your knee up. See how that feels. And from wherever you are, lower that knee back down, curl your toes under, and lift back up into your crescent. From here, reach your arms forward and then take your right arm and pull it back like a bow and arrow, and maybe open up toward your right knee. And breathe. And then on your next exhale, bring that hand back forward. And again, lower that knee down toward the ground, that back knee. And then start to bring your hands either down to either side of your front foot or to your blocks, if you have them. And then start to straighten that front knee, bringing your seat back toward your feet. Trying to keep your hips from shifting too much to one side. Might want to shift to the left. Try to see if they can come straight back. And breathe. From here, bend into that front knee. Curl your back toes up and lift your knee. And then as you're ready, you can move your blocks or keep them where they are. Hands down. Bring that front foot to the back, coming into your plank, and then downward facing dog. Take a breath here. On your next inhale, raise your left leg up. And then as you exhale, shift forward, coming into your runner's lunge. From here, lower that back knee down and the top of the foot, your right foot. And inhale, sweep your fingertips up. Coming into a lunge, making sure that knee doesn't go past your toes. And if you'd like a challenge for this, maybe really press into the top of your back foot and raise your knee. It's an interesting feeling. The mysteries of what our body can do. If you're doing that, lower that knee back down and then curl your toes and lift yourself back up into a crescent. Take a breath here. Reach your arms forward. On your next exhale, take your left arm back like a bow and arrow, maybe twisting toward that left leg. Finding balance, finding stillness, breathing. Back leg is straight and strong. And when your next exhale comes, bring your hand to the front. Sweep your fingertips back up. Lower your back knee down on the top of your foot. And then bring your hands down to either side of your foot or your blocks. And on your next exhale, start to straighten that front leg, bringing your seat back. Trying to keep your hips from shifting over to the right. And breathe. And then as you're ready, start to bend into that front knee. Maybe remove your blocks. Curl your back toes and then bring that back foot up to meet the front, coming to a forward fold at the front of your mat. Knees are nice and bent here, maybe reaching for opposite elbows, ragdoll, shifting back and forth. Releasing any tension that you have. Letting all your worries fall to the ground. And from here, release your elbows. As you inhale, come into a half lift, pressing your hands into your shins or thighs, making a long back, keeping your shoulders away from your ears. And as you exhale, bending your knees, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your hands up high. And as you exhale, bring your hands heart center. Take a moment to notice your heartbeat here. Maybe even close your eyes. And release your arms down. From here, going to come into a balance pose. So plant your right foot down on the ground. The four corners of your feet, the balls of your feet and the back corners of your heel are really planted into the ground here. And then bring your left knee forward, rolling your shoulders back. And on your inhale, start to bend that knee in front of you, the left knee. Seeing if it can come straight out from your hip here. And from here, we're going to come into a twist. So you can either stay here, or if it's available for you, bring your foot out in front of you after you attach your right hand to the bottom of the foot. That is not going to happen for me today, but if it does for you, that's great too. So as you're standing here, really lengthen your spine on an inhale, and as you exhale, turn toward your left raised knee, and maybe open that left arm to the back, finding your twist. Some of you may have that front leg straightened. Remembering to breathe, feeling your strength, feeling the length. And when you're ready, as an exhale, turn to the front and lower that foot down. Shake it out. Let's go to the other side, pressing your left foot down, rolling your shoulders down and back, and then bending your right knee up towards your chest, but not high, just bringing it straight out from your hip here. Some of you may want to take your left hand around the bottom of your right foot and stretch it out. That's not happening for me today. On an inhale, wherever you are, lengthen your spine, and as you exhale, turn toward your bent knee, reaching your left hand over to the outside of your thigh, if your knee is bent, and opening up toward the right. Trying to keep your gaze at something that isn't moving. Continuing to breathe. Finding your twist. And then as you're ready, exhale, turning to the front, and release your foot down and shake it out. From here, we're going to make our way down toward our mats. So go ahead and come down on to your mat with your knees bent and coming onto your back. I'm going to move my blanket away. Have a block handy or a pillow or something if you have one. If not, that's fine as well. Lying on your back here, knees pointed up. Go ahead and raise your right foot up toward the sky, and then turn your knee and your toes to the right, and then cross that ankle over the top of the left knee. And from here, you can bring your left knee in toward your chest, maybe reaching in with your right hand in between that little triangle you've made, clasping your hands behind your thigh or at the front of your shin. And allowing yourself to breathe here. Maybe your right elbow tractions out your right thigh a little bit toward the front of your mat. Take a few breaths here. If you haven't already, start to allow your exhales to come out of your mouth, releasing any heat that may have built up during our practice. Feeling free to sigh it out. And as you're ready, bring your left foot back down. Take that right knee again, stacking it on top of the left. Then bring your arms out into a T and bring both knees over to the left side. Finding whatever works for you here in this twist. And breathe. On your next exhale, roll back onto your back, unwind your legs, and place your feet both down onto the ground, and then lift your left foot up, turn your left toes out to the left side, and then cross that ankle over the opposite knee, and then bring your right knee in toward your chest, hugging your thigh or shin in toward your body, and breathe. I'm so grateful for everybody who showed up today. I'm so blessed for any donations that allow me to continue to do this on this app and within my community, especially for those who wouldn't normally find a place to practice. As you're ready, release your right foot down. Continue to cross that left knee on top or close to on top of the opposite knee. Reach your arms out and then lower both knees over toward the right into a twist. And breathing. Noticing any changes that have started to occur in your body from this practice. Adding to the mystery of life, mystery of the practice, mystery of this day. As you're ready, roll back onto your back and unwind your knees. Maybe take your feet to the outsides of the mat and do a wide-legged windshield wipers, but shifting your knees left and right, kind of releasing that lower back. And from here, placing your hands to your sides with your palms down, coming into a bridge pose. Your feet are flat on the ground, knees pointing up. As you exhale, raise your hips up toward the sky, maybe tucking your shoulders underneath your upper back, allowing your chest to raise, your gaze staying up toward the sky. Your knees are tracking forward, your thighs may be tracking together. And breathe. And as you're ready, release down to your mat, lower your hips, maybe sway your knees from side to side. And then from here, you can come into whatever version of inversion is in your practice. I like to do a supported bridge pose. So you can watch this if you'd like, or come into it with my voice. So as you raise your hips up, take your block on the lowest level or your pillow or whatever you have underneath your sacrum, which is that flat bone at the lower part of your spine, just above your sit bones, and then allow yourself to be supported by whatever is underneath you. And you can keep your feet on the ground and release and relax here, or you can reach your feet out if you want more of a front hip opener, front hip stretch. Or you can bend your knees in toward your chest and raise your feet up toward the sky for kind of a supported shoulder stand. Whatever feels good for you. Starting to allow your breath to come back to its normal pace. Allowing yourself this gift of a few moments of inversion. Taking this time to find a different perspective. As you're ready, returning to your bridge pose if you're in a different pose. If you're still on your block, raise your heels up toward the sky, coming onto your toes, and raise your hips a little bit so you can remove your block. And then lower your heels and lower your hips. Sway your knees from side to side. From here, bend your knees in toward your chest, celebrating our circles again, making some circles with your knees, whatever size feels good for you. And going into the opposite direction as well, massaging your back. If there's any final pose that you like before final Shavasana, feel free to do that now. I can offer child's pose, happy baby, reaching your feet up, maybe your knees come to the outside of your mat, bending down towards your armpits. You can reach behind your thighs or shins or up towards your feet or toes. You can rock here or stay still, finding what works for you, relaxing onto the ground. And then as you're ready, bring your knees back above your chest again and curl yourself into a tight little ball. On your next inhale, hold that breath for 3, 2, 1. And as you exhale, release down onto the mat, coming into your version of Shavasana, a comfortable position. Maybe lying back with your hands upturned toward the sky. Maybe your toes are pointed out toward the outsides of the mat. Relaxing, releasing, and letting go. I want to be respectful of your time, so feel free, of course, to stay in this final Shavasana as long as you need. It's a very important pose to let everything that you've done in this hour really get into your body. I'm so grateful for everyone here and for the donations. And if you want to learn any more about me, go ahead and go to my profile and maybe follow along so you can know when I will be hosting one of these again. I really, really enjoyed it. So I'm going to close out our practice here by saying thank you. I have so much gratitude for all of you, and I hope you have a peaceful and powerful day.